From the studios of KENW on the campus of Eastern New Mexico University, it's You Should Know, featuring the people and events of Eastern New Mexico and West Texas.
Welcome to You Should Know. I'm your host, Evelyn Ledbetter, and today I have a couple of really great guests that are part of the Associated Student Activities Board here at Eastern New Mexico University, SirJustin Bowen, and also he is the coordinator of the program, and Sarah Ortega is one of the members of the program. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
For sure, for sure. So let's start off and just kind of get to know you a little bit. Sarah, tell me a little bit about where you grew up and what if you were part of Portales or just start out.
I grew up here in Portales, New Mexico. I was raised by my grandparents, Polo and Cindy Ortega. I pretty much lived here. Well, I've lived here all my life, and so it's a small town, but you got to make the most of it as
Okay.
much as you can.
And what year are you in college?
I'm a freshman.
Okay, so
Yes,
this
ma'am.
is your second semester here
Yes,
at
ma'am.
Eastern. Great, great. And SirJustin, how about you?
Yes, so I'm originally from Kentucky, and then I relocated to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then which brought me here. Yeah, I came here during 2020 during COVID, and so yeah. But what brought me to Eastern was I just wanted to step out of my comfort zone and to be able to be a part of a community
Okay.
that kind of would help me with my academics and stuff like that.
Well, and we had talked earlier,
Hmm.
when you moved to Albuquerque, it was right at the beginning of COVID.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so,
It was rough because I wasn't being able to be around people, and so I wanted to be able to have that time to be able to communicate with people. Like I graduated, yeah, and yeah,
well, and I'm sure, that freshman year is such a big deal where that's where you make your connections.
right,
And so when you
hmm,
miss that, that's a tough
yeah.
one. Was COVID going on when you got out of school, out of high school?
No, ma'am. I was a freshman whenever COVID happened, so
So
it
you
kind of
Mhm.
ruined the years, but
you actually got to have a graduation though.
yes.
For you didn't get to have a high
No,
school
yeah, I
graduation.
graduated in 2021, and so yeah, I mean, I had a graduation, but it was kind of like closed off a little bit, yeah.
Sure.
Hmm.
And so versus choosing a larger school there at
Hmm.
Albuquerque or one of the other universities, what brought you or drew you to Eastern?
One, because of the affordability of Eastern, and I knew that they had a good program that I wanted to join, which was at the time it was digital filmmaking,
Hmm.
and so I soon changed it to communications,
Okay.
but my minor is also digital filmmaking, and so yeah, it had more of the on-hand programs that I wanted to do for my
Okay.
major. Yeah,
Have you actually done any of the practicum or anything's
yeah,
here
I'm,
at
I'm
KN?
currently doing a practicum now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Through
yeah,
KN? Okay. All right. Well,
mhm,
great. So you're familiar and know your way around.
right, yeah.
And Sarah, do you have an idea of where you're headed through
I'm
school?
wanting to do communications, public speaking.
Okay.
I think it would be nice to do. I like to talk, so I think branching out in that way would be super cool.
Well, you seem like you're engaging and easy to speak with. So, well, great.
Thank
So
you.
so good to have both of you around our world for a
Yes,
while.
ma'am.
Well, great. So tell me this, when you first rolled onto campus, did either of you know anyone?
No, yeah.
Not really, no.
No,
I knew a few people, but here and there.
right.
Mhm.
From being from Portales, you obviously knew a bit more, but overwhelming when you move away from your home, your family,
Mhm.
people you know, just Sir
I
Justin?
feel like so it was a little overwhelming, but I think one of the best parts of coming here was the dog days that started off the semester, and so it started to introduce me to some students that were really engaged and took the time off. Like, and it's going on like I guess a little bit a week before school starts, and so that's technically their summer, and
Uh-huh.
so it was just kind of inspirational to see that like, oh wow, these students kind of took off their summer just so they could like kind of help get us situated and get us started for the semester. And so that was one thing that was like, wow, I think I'm gonna like it here, you know.
Right. Well, and obviously we're the greyhounds, so that's the dog days. But
Hmm.
Sarah, tell us. A lot of people may not know what dog days really is.
So dog days is just a time for you to get kind of more interacted with students. For me, it was really nice to just be able to get interacted, I guess, and just it helps you move in. They help you move in. They help you just be more kind of like an organized way of
Hmm.
like coming into Eastern New Mexico. And I feel like that's
Hmm.
really good for students who, like Sir Justin, he didn't live here. So I feel like getting you brought to and showing you around it's really good to like have.
I know we always have a lot of students kind of wander in and out
Mhm.
looking for classes and things like that.
Right.
So
Right.
this is actually students that are part of the dog days and
Exactly.
they
Right.
have activities, or what all do they do during that time?
Yeah, they have activities. We have like orientation events, and they bring like comedians and like hypnotists and stuff sometimes, which is pretty cool. That it's not only like just kind of educational and kind of learning about the school, but it's kind of incorporating some of the events that you'll have throughout the semester too.
So are there
Mhm.
people that you met, Sarah, during dog days that you became close friends with?
Yes, ma'am. There's a lot of people that I met during dog days that I'm still close with now, especially working with campus life. I feel like we all kind of know each other, and I feel like that was very good because whenever I first came here,
Mhm.
I was kind of like nervous. I didn't really branch out, but as soon as I saw people who were very welcoming, that really made me feel kind of like as one with.
Sure.
Mhm.
And same way for you. Did you
Yeah,
are some of your
absolutely.
friends the ones you met through that program?
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like seeing those people, some of my friends that were in those programs, it just kind of inspired me. It's like, man, I want to do something that's with them, just to kind of still stay involved. Yeah.
I know for me as a parent, when my kids went away for college, you know, you've had them with you, you've had some control, and then all of a
Hmm.
sudden you just drop them off at campus, and
Yes.
it's like, well, good luck.
Right.
And for a parent, even that's overwhelming. So
Hmm.
I think that would be really comforting for me to say, hey,
Mhm.
they're in with a group, they're
Yeah.
learning where everything's at on the campus and the activities and drawing you
Hmm.
guys in. And to me, first impressions, right? So if you have a welcoming place at the beginning, don't you think that probably keeps you on board to finish up your college here?
Hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because otherwise, if you're not comfortable or feel like it's a good fit or you haven't made friends,
Hmm.
I think a campus can be a really lonely place,
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah.
even
Right.
though you're covered up with people around you
Hmm.
all the time.
Yeah.
So tell me about, I'll start with you, Justin. How did you get started with campus life of being involved with the ASAB?
Once again, it was seeing those people that were involved, and I wanted to be incorporated in what they were doing, and so I found ASAB,
Hmm.
which was one of our events that we do, which it's one of our organizations where we do events with like hypnotists, comedians, like a lot of traditional events and stuff like that, such as bingo and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. And how about you for Sarah?
At first, I was nervous to like branch out and like new people,
Hmm.
getting around new people kind of makes me nervous. But as soon as I got into ASAB and started going to events, I really branched out and then I became a member and then it was fun to just be able to meet like the different hypnotists and the comedians that are able to come down and do their things for us.
Tell me this, your first impression when you came on campus.
I was shocked. For high school, it was, like, not very, like, organizations that we could do, and I think college really made me branch out, made me find myself and just be able to find new people, so I think just seeing, like, on campus, everyone being like, "Hey," like, "Come do this, come do that," I felt like it was really inspirational to see because I wouldn't have branched out if it wouldn't have been for the
Mhm.
people around me.
And how about you, Sir Justin?
I was nervous. I didn't think that like I would be able to kind of do well because like growing up, my academics weren't all that great, and so I feel like being involved kind of helps me have like that self control and that motivation to strive and do better.
Do you think when you get involved with a group, it gives you accountability as well?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
you've got a place to be and
Hmm.
they're gonna keep watch over you,
Mhm.
and if you're struggling,
Yeah.
you know, people are gonna notice or you have someone to
Hmm.
talk to. Um, I remember my first time, they gave us a placement test, and I went to a really small school, and I didn't realize it was placement. I thought I was supposed to know
Oh,
everything on there, and it was math.
yeah.
And I went home and thought, I'm not cut out for college, and I forced myself to come back the next day and then found out it was placement,
Oh,
but
yeah.
but no one told me.
Right.
We didn't have dog days, there wasn't any type
Mhm.
of
I know. Yeah.
orientation.
Right.
Um, you just started trying to find your classes and
Really,
wander
yeah.
around.
Yeah, that's one thing that I love about the school is that like a lot of schools they don't have that where the students are a part of that, that helps with the orientation part. It's
Mhm.
more faculty and it's like I don't really know these people. It's not people that I can connect with, but it's somebody that I can be like, oh, I know them, I can go to them,
Mhm.
if I see them during class or something
Mhm.
like that.
Well, you guys both seem like you're both really good friends and
Yeah.
hang out quite a lot.
Yes. Yes,
So
especially with ASAB, I feel like we've all really just gotten connected, and I think that really
Mhm.
helps.
so I noticed that we've had students that worked here, And they dress in different colors, like, they have a couple of teams? Is that how it
Oh
works?
yeah.
So tell me what that's about.
They organize teams with their groups, and so like if you come in, you may come in with a friend, and so they're gonna separate you, and so it might be like you're on yellow team or you're on green team, and so those teams they're here to like support you, and you try to like have that school spirit, and so each team they're trying to compare and see like which team knows like the fight song or something like that, and so it just kind of incorporates how like to get to know other students and to get to know your dog days counselors too.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not familiar with that. Your dog day counselor, is that students?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
those are the students that are here to help you move in and help you with orientation and stuff like that.
Kind of the leader of the group,
Yeah,
technically.
And you actually have competitions against each other on
yeah.
these 2
Competition
teams?
between each color teams. Yeah,
And they pull you away from your friends
exactly. Yeah,
and make you be with strangers and make
hmm
you connect and talk.
yeah.
Do you think this is a kind of probably an odd question, but with we're so attached to our digital or to our electronic devices.
hmm
It's so easy just to go into those. But do they take your phones away or make you
No,
interact or
they don't
just
take
like
your phones away, but there's so many activities where it's like
That you're not
I
really
don't
on your
even pay
phone.
attention to
you
my
don't have
phone.
time? S-
Yeah.
Because and especially where you didn't have your last part of school
hmm
in a group setting,
Exactly.
all of that is kind of you don't have that to rely on.
hmm
You're kind of solo, so bringing you out of that shell some. You said you took a gap year in between.
hmm
So and the lottery scholarship that we have in New Mexico went ahead
Exactly.
and counted. They allowed for that during
Yeah,
the
because the
COVID.
COVID, they knew students were doing, gonna need to take a break, and so they wanted to make sure that we still joined in, after that year.
Okay. Do you live on campus, off campus?
I live on campus.
I live off of campus.
Is there a requirement anymore of whether you live on or off
I
campus?
think if you have like a home, because her family lives in town, and
Okay.
so I think like for freshmen, if you have like family that is in town, you can live with them. But if you're coming in and you don't have family nearby, you have to stay for at least a semester, and sometimes you can get that kind
Okay.
of overrided, and because you have like a place to stay. Yeah.
Mm.
And working for ASAB, is that volunteer or is that possibly part of work study or something like that as well?
ASAB for me, it's not work study, but it's student hire.
Student hire. Okay.
And so yeah, I'm a coordinator. As a coordinator, I get paid to coordinate the events and stuff like that, and put them together. But we also have volunteer members that
Okay.
help with the setup, and if we have like we do like movie nights, and they help with like giving out candy and snacks and stuff like that.
And for you, work study or
I
you
volunteer. I
volunteer?
think it's really good just to,
Mhm.
like I said, branch out because at first, coming to a new school, new people, it's kind of
Mhm.
like, kind of iffy. But as soon as I, for instance, got myself out there, it was really good to like be a member.
Well, and again, I made my connections with people. I was College of Business, so I made the connections within my college, but I didn't meet a lot of students in the rest of the campus,
Mm.
and so that just seems like an amazing thing, and
Yeah.
I don't know how many years they've done it. Do you guys have an idea of
I'm
when
not
they
sure.
actually
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah, but
I'm
I
sure it's been going on for a while
For a
though.
while.
Yeah.
I know since I came back here and started working, it's been here the whole time,
Really.
so
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
several
That's
years,
awesome though.
but yeah, sounds like a good deal.
Mhm.
Um, so, y the thing about ASAB, I mean, there's a lot of leadership skills, right,
Mhm.
that you learn along with that.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Leadership skills. Yeah, it's a lot. We as a coordinator, we go out to we've gone to St. Paul, Minnesota, or we recently just went to Riverside, California, and as the leader of like our events and stuff like that, we have to go and find those acts that we want to bring that may be
Oh,
comedians or that may be hypnotists or something like that. Yeah, it's like an event where it's a conference that we go to where those people who do their events, they
mhm,
just kind of sell themselves and show us like what they have to offer, and if we think that it might be good to bring to the school. And so it's important that we understand how to do like our contracts and stuff like that to be able to bring them here.
okay.
hmm
So a lot of leadership, and also, the planning part, right? Have
Mhm.
you
Exactly.
been
Yeah.
involved with that, Sarah, of planning events?
I've been like to the meetings and stuff, but I feel like with SirJustin being
Mhm.
like the coordinator, I feel like it's very good to have leadership
Mhm.
Okay.
because if he doesn't have that leadership, it's kind of all gonna be like scattered. But I feel like he's done really good being a coordinator and getting us all together to
Mhm.
be
Okay.
connected.
And
Okay.
one thing also that we do is we want to ask the the members, and we even ask like the student body, like when they check in for events, like if they enjoyed it and like what events that they would want to bring back that we can have for the following semester.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And I know there's different varieties. I had read where there are certain event. There's a special events committee,
Hmm.
and then also an entertainment committee, and a music committee.
Yeah.
And so working on that, we actually have a concert that's coming up
Hmm.
later in April.
Exactly. Yeah.
And do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, we're having Rodney Atkins. He'll be here on the 27th, I believe, of April. That's for the community. It's not necessarily ASAB, but it's campus life is a part of it. But
Hmm.
we'll the funds that come in through that concert will go towards scholarships for ASAB for the foundation scholarships that we will be doing soon.
Okay, so the
Mhm.
benefits of that actually
Exactly.
do
Yeah.
come back.
Hmm.
And the date on that concert, I think I read it was April 27th,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And it's at the arena.
Yes, it's in the arena, and there's going to be pre-show acts as well. It's not just going to be the final act, Rodney Atkins, but more shows that come in like just before the actual show.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right. And ticket prices, I think, let's see if I read this right, the lower level is $30 and general admission's 20.
I believe so. Yeah, and you can purchase those tickets either online or in the campus life office in the office 104.
Okay, all
Mhm.
right. So anybody out there get those tickets, and I've
Mhm.
heard they're selling out pretty
They are,
fast.
They
yeah.
are.
Hmm.
And the selection, we had talked about this a little bit. You select groups that are actually someone that the community as a whole
Exactly.
Mhm.
will
Yeah.
support,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, we've noticed that the community they enjoy the country music. Yeah, and I've heard that recently they had or like in former years they had like rock music and stuff like that, and I'm sure that will probably do some new stuff like that in the
Sure,
future. Yeah.
sure. I think they actually had Metallica,
Oh wow.
and
Yeah.
I had heard Doobie Brothers and
Really?
different ones,
Wow. That's
Pat
so cool.
Benatar. So there was some good rock, and some of those they were early starters back before they really
Hmm.
accomplished or got to the point that they're at
Right.
now at that
Right.
level.
See, that's awesome though.
And I think some of your comedians and different ones like that as
Hmm.
well have
Mhm.
Exactly.
performed, and then later on they're really
Yeah.
make it big.
Flourish. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, one other topic I want to touch on real quick is Safe Ride, and that's something that's ran through
Hmm.
the Associated Student. Sarah, can you tell me about that a little bit?
So Safe Ride, we are a dry campus, and so if you're ever feeling like unsafe or you're feeling, say, intoxicated to drive, we have we have people who drive a van, and you call their number, and if you're ever just feeling like in case of emergency or anything, they will come get you from Thursdays at 8 a.m. and to all the way to Sunday at 12 a.m. So they're here just to be that like designated driver, just in case that you need it.
That's a great, and again, something that I think that's
Mhm.
within recent
Exactly.
years that have been added, but where our town doesn't have taxis and things like
Mhm.
Hmm.
that, you really don't have an option.
Right. Yeah.
And the town's large enough, the walking distance
Hmm.
can be quite a, or I don't, it's not large population wise, but as far as space wise,
Yeah.
it's a pretty good walk from one side of town to the other.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's a great way to support the students and
Mhm.
keep everybody safe.
I think it's good for the parents too, like you were saying earlier, just so they can, know that their kids are safe.
Hmm.
And it's a no questions asked and
Yeah.
just
Mm-mm.
Yeah. No
just
No
questions asked. They
questions.
won't tell anybody, unless it's like a dire situation or something like that.
okay. All right. And that's offered just to students pretty much is
Yeah,
who
it's
that's
offered for
offered.
students, and if like if you're in town with them and you guys like went out, to get something to drink, they can allow you, to ride with them and get home safely.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right. Something else that I really wanted to touch on was you have a food pantry, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
also do. Yeah.
So give me lots of information on that.
Yeah, so the food pantry is something that we started, I believe, about like 2 or 3 years ago. It allows for anybody in the community or even students to bring, non-perishable food items that are, not expired, and it allows like for students who may be hungry or who just don't have enough money to afford new food items for their
Okay.
family or for the household.
So basically food insecurity.
Mm.
Exactly, yeah. Hmm.
And that's such a huge deal. So tell me, Sarah, where's it located at?
It is located in our Greyhound Lounge, so that's our basement of the campus union building.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like in a little area that we can go into, and you can get like you can scan the little scan thing,
Oh,
like
the little
the
QR
QR
Yeah,
code.
codes.
Yeah.
you
Okay.
do. Yeah, it asks for a survey, just to fill out some things,
Mm.
just so that we're aware of your situation. But it's not. It's confidential. You know, it's not like they're going to be sharing it or anything.
So,
Right.
how does a student who do they go to see? Do they go
So yeah, they'll go to any campus life office worker, and they'll just let them know that yeah, I want to get some items from the food pantry.
so just
Mhm.
go
And
over
so
when you come into the Cub, just
yeah,
go over
Mhm.
to
To our
the ASAB
office.
hmm
Mhm.
offices and just tell them.
hmm
Mhm.
Okay. And how is that food pantry filled?
it's filled by community members. They can bring in food into the office, and we'll take that down directly. Or if you wanted to donate money,
Mhm.
where we can get more items, like we don't only take food items, but we also take like toiletries and like paper towels and stuff like that. That also can help for the house. But they can donate money to the foundation office,
Okay.
and that's not in the campus life office, but it's out on the on campus,
Right, right.
But
I think it's on Avenue K,
yeah,
Mhm.
but they can
mhm.
actually make a
But yeah,
donation
they can make
there.
a donation for that, and
Okay. If people wanna donate actual items, what are good things to donate?
non-perishable food items like cans,
Cans.
um,
Rice is
yeah,
good.
rice,
Mhm.
beans,
Pasta.
Mhm.
pasta,
Pasta.
soaps, toilet paper, paper
Okay.
towels,
The
those
hygiene
Mhm.
products and
Right.
exactly,
different
yeah,
things from
deodorant, yeah,
okay. Okay, so
mhm,
anything like that, that's a great service, and
exactly,
so
Mhm.
yeah,
I know I've seen where there's different
mhm,
functions on campus that might be
yeah,
to donate something
mhm.
for
Mhm.
that
And also,
pantry.
like, if students wanted to come in and they ask they wanted, like, milk or eggs or something like that, they can ask for that per request,
Oh,
and they can make sure it just has to be, like, a day in advance, and they can be sure to go out and pick those items up for you.
okay. Is do you know if there's a website for ASAB or just go to the Eastern
The
site and
Eastern
search that
side,
out?
yeah, that incorporates, just, like, if you wanna become a member or if you wanna just see what events we have going on, they can
Okay.
go to that website, yeah.
So just,
And we also have, like, social media, Facebook and Instagram too, that kinda keeps students up to date on what's going on too.
okay, alright. And so if they go into enmu.edu
Mhm.
and then follow the links to get to
To
ASAB,
ASAP, yeah.
and then you can get your
Mhm.
tickets and also find out events, and there's a calendar.
Exactly.
I know that we tape here on KENW a
Mhm.
weekly calendar on our radio station
Mhm.
that talks about all the different events, and we always try to include as much as we can on ASAB as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So great, great, and like you said, the safe rides on there and
Mhm.
Yes,
different
ma'am.
things like that.
Mhm.
That's a huge one, and for parents, that's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
It
So,
really is.
the mom in me is coming out in a big way.
Yeah.
So, Sir Justin, Sarah, such a pleasure to have you guys
Thank
here.
you for
Thank you
having
for
us. We
having us.
appreciate it.
I
We do.
and I appreciate you telling about all the different things that we offer here through ENMU and what it has added to your life of being
Yes,
involved with
ma'am.
that.
Yes.
Well, best of luck the rest of this semester and
Thank
for the
you.
next years, and welcome. We'll see you around since you're in comm. All right,
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you.
And for all of you out there watching, thank you. We will see you next time. Cheers.